I'm Leo Cloud, and this is Axe and Die. Today I'm here with my friend Jon White, who is also an expert on what is it on Billy Ellis.
A little bit of Ellis, or however you pronounce it. I get the letters the wrong way round.
The Enuma Ellis. That's Billy
Yes.
Ellis's Mesopotamian cousin, which everybody heard about for some reason. And we are going to go through how to of character creation on Axe and Die. Ready, set, roll. That's the catchphrase because it's.
That's cool. That's cool. Ready, set, roll. Right.
Fun fact, did you know that Gary Gygax, the guy who made Dungeons and Dragons, used to wear a Hawaii shirt, and that's why every game designer is required by law of magic of higher realities and dimension stuff to wear a Hawaii shirt.
Well, that I didn't know.
I wore a Hawaii shirt beforehand, but it was a good coincidence.
That's why my D&D games are never perfect, I guess. It's the lack of Hawaii shirt. There we go. I'll do a bit of shopping after the show. So, what would you like me to do then?
Just, if you can, please read it out loud, and if you have a question, ask ahead.
Before we start, I was looking for my D&D sets, but I'm pretty sure...
You're not going to need it.
Okay.
You're not going to need it.
I've got a starter set here, so I might have dice, but my kids have nicked most of my D&D.
Okay, because I get dice.
We've got a computer with random number generator, which I can fiddle to make sure I get.
I actually mostly use like dice application because it's easier.
So, do you want me to read the introduction or the character creation?
From the introduction onwards, and if you have a question, ask ahead.
Okay, let me put this slightly in front of you so it looks like I'm looking at the screen a little bit. Can I actually read that without? Let's see if I can read.
Make a perception check.
Right.
Make an Arcana check.
That's okay. So, action. Right. Do you want me to clap already, or you're just?
No, I'm the one who claps. So.
Okay. Action Die is a tabletop role-play game that is easy to learn, quick, and expressive. Players make a playable character, a PC, and act them out. One player is the game director. He arbitrates the rules, controls the non-player characters, the NPCs, and direct the game. And he must wear an Hawaiian shirt, apparently. Definitely, that makes the game slightly more colourful. And you can take the mickey out of him a bit, during the game. As a principle, unless a rule forbids you or requires you to do something, do as you wish. You will need papers, pencils, a 4-sided die, what we call a D4 in the trade, a 6-sided die, what we call a D6, an 8-sided die, which you can probably guess is called a D8, a 10-sided die, which is a D10, a 12-sided die, a D12, some miniatures and tokens are... Your character... So, character creation. Your character is an agent in the game world. You make his decision for him. However, he is not you. You decide what action he takes. By the way, when we say he, we can mean she. Terms, conditions apply. See, let's carry on. To make a character, first think of who this person is. This includes their background, how their past influences who he is now, his drives, things he does that make him or her. Flairs, how, not the trousers, how does he do things in a way that defines themselves? And faculties, so the
capacities.
The faculties, right. His faculties, so the capacities they possess. You'll create keywords that will relate to how this character is played in a game. Then you will create your action die pools. Note, create keywords only after you have an idea of who your character is. Everyone has a story. The character's background is just that. It reflects their life experience, skills, upbringing, and choices they've made. Think of 3 nouns describing your character. These are keywords. They should be specific enough to visualize. If any of the keywords are repetitive, eliminate a paragraph about your character's origins with a keyword in each sentence. There is a tip. Don't there's a tip. Right, you're trying tip. You do not have to write your character's background immediately. You may add to it later.
Think of 3 keywords to describe a cool character in a fantasy setting that kicks ass.
That kicks ass. I would say, and these have to be nouns, so not verbs. Okay, so nouns like. Nouns, you're sure nouns, not verbs. So I can't say big or strong because they're not nouns, are they?
You can say strong, man.
Strong, yeah, but that's strong isn't a noun. Strong's a verb or an adjective because it's describing things. It's
Strength is a noun.
The man is the noun.
No,
Strength,
strong
okay.
man. Strong man is a guy who goes to competitions.
I would say suave.
Suave is an adjective.
Is it sophisticated?
Don't think that's a noun.
No, okay, this is what I'm saying. All these great words I want to put in. So
hold on to that.
Okay.
But remember, think who he is. Think what's his deal, who he's
What's a she? I mean, every good male role player has a female character somewhere in there.
So
sophisticated is
look,
like
think of stuff like wizard, hunter.
Oh, okay. Oh, like that sort of
aristocrat.
I would say a hunter, thief.
Yeah. Wizard.
A hunter, wizard. If I want them to be, I do like my magic. A sort of a mage. Can you do a mage? Is that slightly different to a wizard? Cleric. I like the cleric. I like the healing aspect. The hunter, so she's caring, and then she can kill him when she's looking after him. So yeah, hunter, wizardy, cleric.
Well, you don't just have to think of classes. You can just think of actually a story and what you use to describe someone in a story. So
the person I've got in mind, to say, is sophisticated, well-spoken, well-educated.
So an aristocrat or an intelligentsia or a scholar?
Well, she's a bit psycho as well. So she can lure you in, and then she can, do whatever she wants to you, and then leave you as
sounds like a courtesan.
So I have that in mind as the character. So they're not necessarily overly strong, but they know how to use their strengths. So they're agile and dexterous because they have that thief type quality that they can't.
Sounds like a rogue. And I mean an actual somebody a woman who puts on rogue.
Yes.
Which is the original meaning of rogue.
Yes, that's what I'm going with. Yeah, she's got the hint of the knowledge of how to make potions.
And makeup.
With poisons and things.
No, there was a special type of poison, and this is real in the Renaissance, that assassin women used to wear that was lipstick that was actually poisonous.
Yep.
So a kiss of death.
Indeed. I think there was an episode in Game of Thrones.
Courtesan? That would be a pretty good description, right?
Courtesan. Rogue. Could I use the word rogue as well?
Yeah, but...
An intelligentsia. I like that because that gives me a sense of spyness about the character, and I want that.
So we're making Jane Bond in the fantasy.
Her name will be Jane Pond.
Oh my God, Jane Pond.
She's got the ability to make ice. That's really important.
We'll get to that. Ice. Okay, look. Well,
she can kill you with an icicle, and then it'll melt, and there's no weapon, and she'll get away with it.
Okay. Well, you already have 2 keywords, and they're pretty good. So you might want to add another one later on, or something might happen in the adventure that might add something else. So.
Okay.
All right. So...
Right. Shall we go to drives?
So, yeah.
Okay. So drives. A background is something in the past. Actions are in the present. Drives are what make your character into what they are by what they do. Think of adjectives or verbs that relate to things your character does or wants. These are keywords. A major drive is the most driving force for your character, a dream, an ideal, a very strong bond, an obsession. This is what you would truly call a drive. The medium drives are something very influential on your character, a personal connection, a lifelong curiosity, like a physical condition. There would be a desire, and there are minor drives as well, which are idiosyncrasies of your character, relations, a question, hobbies, etc. This would be an inclination. Your character has 1 major, 2 medium, and 3 minor drives. Now, there's a tip here. If you don't know the drives, you may add them as you play. You may make a drive related to another character if you play party. Right. Do you want me to?
Yeah, just think of something. Just try and think of a few. And look, again, if you can't think of all of them, just think of it until it's good enough.
What drives
Money!
Her?
That's what drives me.
You see, it's part of her past that drives her, because her past has influenced where she wants to be. Been betrayed by men too much in the past, and so it's objective to basically kill any man once she's done with them. You know, use them for the resources they can give her.
Exploit men.
No, it's not. It's a partial exploitation. That's probably a medium drive. Is the exploitation of men, because the major drive is to just remove men from existence.
Eradicate men.
Eliminate, I think, was the good word we used earlier.
I think eradicate is better. So eradicate. This is a lovely girl, really somebody you can bring home to your wife, and you can say, "Oh, Fanny, what did your girlfriend do?" And you say, she does girls people. A nice girl from a nice home. So eradicate men.
And hobbies.
Yeah, hobby is minor. By the way, my favorite minor drive is play golf.
A surfer. She likes surfing. And that'll work for a couple of scenarios. Life is good.
She's Jane Pond and she's British, so she drinks tea.
She drinks tea, yes. That could be another minor drive, a love for tea.
Genocidal, misandrist, surfing, tea loving.
Genocidal.
Courtesan.
I think genocidal's
intellectual. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
I'm trying to create an interesting character. Yes, yes, I want someone that you can create a story with, that can create a story as she moves to the world.
I think that's enough. I mean, you don't have to think of a major one. It can be just that.
No, that's fine.
All right, now next.
Flair was there. So people have a personal way of expressing themselves, and we call it style. And flair, in a way,
is a way in which your character excels.
Flair is a way in which your character excels. Yes, think of 2 adverbs that describe how your character does something well, and these are keywords. So she does well. She does.
You already said sophisticated.
Betrayal as well. She does that well.
Betrayal is not an adverb.
Anyway, let's talk faculties.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. Okay, so your character has faculties, inherent capabilities for action. Human beings have the capacity to move with their body and be aware of things with their minds. Some settings have other faculties that represent fantastical powers, like magic or cybernetics or mutations.